Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yes, sir. Checking in with our guest for today, Dre Josiah, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good. How y'all?
I'm good,
Can't
bro.
complain, man. Happy Sunday.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Thanks
Yes,
for coming
sir.
out, man. Now we got, man, writer director status, bro. We got to talk about what was the first thing that made you fall in love with? Was it writing or directing? Like, what was the first thing you fell in love with?
Well, I fell in love with entertainment as a whole.
For sure.
So I went to school in Nashville for some time, and I was talking to my pops. I'm like, when I go, because I had dropped out, got a little managing gig at Aldo, so I'm living on my own. And I talked to my pops. I'm like, I want to go back to school, but I want to do it in something that I love. So I went back for editing.
For sure, like video editing.
Yeah, and when I went to school, I took a screenwriting class, and that first day we had to write a little short story. I'm like, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. So then I started doing that, and then here we are. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
you go.
So before that moment, you had no interest in writing at all?
Well, I've always been a storyteller, so I've been doing like musical theater and acting and stuff like that since I was young. So it's always been a part of me, but I just didn't create it myself. I always had like creative things in my brain, like I can make this concept video, I can do that, but I never put it on paper unless it was like an English class. I'm writing, because that's easy to me. I used to write poems. I got a whole little drawer full of poems that I was writing when I was younger. So storytelling was just easy to me. But when I took that class and it was like I can see what's in my head on the paper, it was just a different experience. I'm like, yeah, this what I need to be doing.
For sure. And who was your biggest influence, like, behind you chasing a dream like directing?
I honestly say my pops. I think especially for black men and us and what we love to do, when your family ain't behind you, it's hard for you to do it.
Real talk.
You feel like you got to do something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to survive. But when my pops was like, as long as this is what you want to do and you ain't gonna quit, like, I'm with you. Like, whatever you need, I got your back. So him giving me that confidence to do it, because I know I can do it. Like, I was gifted with the talent of storytelling and putting people in an escape. But if you don't got that support system, it's gonna diminish. So I shout out to my pops, you know what I'm saying, for giving me that grace and that support to stay on track and do what I want to do.
Real talk. And I feel that for real, because like a lot of times, like when I be feeling like that and everything, my mama always, sometimes she'll watch me and she really won't say nothing, but then it'll get to a point like a couple of days or something pass. Then, cause she really like analyzing me and like what she know would drive me, but then when she see me doing something, she be like, I always wanted you to do what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Not what nobody else around you really wants you to do. What you want to do, and sometimes that really take you so far. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
For real.
It's freedom in that. You know what I'm saying? And not having that bondage of, I got to do this because this is what's the norm.
Right.
And because you ain't gonna get on, it's like y'all probably know it's hard. That support is hard, you know what I'm saying. But as long as the few people that love you support you, you fine. I'm content. It's a quote that I really like. You don't need the whole world to love you. You just need a few good people to love you. And once you got that core, the rest is history. Everybody gonna hop on board once, you know what I'm saying. When you bust through that ground, they gonna hop on board. But until then, make sure your core straight. Make sure your foundation straight, and you're gonna keep pushing.
Real talk.
What's a movie that you draw inspiration from?
So this I love this question because this movie wasn't that good. I used to go to the movies every Tuesday. It was $5 Tuesday, and this one made me like, this is that same week I went to took my screenwriting class. I'm like, yeah, let me go watch a movie, and I seen this movie. It's called That Awkward Moment. And it was like the plot. It was just a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a little rom-com. You take your lady to the movie. You can watch it. Oh, it was cool. You ain't gonna never see it again. Type shit. But I'm in the movie theater. I'm sitting there by myself and I'm looking at it, and I felt like I was in the movie. Like I'm like this director. I think his name is Tom Gormican. This director literally made this movie. Like he didn't write it, so he took someone else's script and made me feel like I was in New York. I was chasing the love interest. I'm trying to hide it. I'm like, yo, people really need escape sometimes because you don't know what people going through in life. Some people can't feel certain emotions. Some people ain't never experienced certain things. So if I can create a world where for 2 hours you ain't got to worry about nothing but what you see, like that was it for me. So once I saw that, I'm like, that's what I need to try to do is create escapes, because it was liberating for me to be somewhere where I ain't phone down. The movie wasn't even that good, but the phone, I'm completely lost in what I'm looking at. So I think that's pretty dope.
So it just like had your mind, like you was really like, it had your mind in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for real.
What's happening next? Oh, dang, he probably shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really into this movie.
For real.
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Real talk.
I'm one of them people that can just find any type of movie, like just going off like the cover, you can't tell what a movie about. Even with the description, you can't tell what a movie about. I watched a movie on Netflix last night. I think it was called Bracket.
Okay.
With Denzel Washington's son, bro. I wasted 2 hours of my day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm waiting on the real plot and the reason why I'm watching this movie. You know, they always try. To me, movies supposed to teach you a lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and in that movie, I didn't find a lesson at all. He ended up looking for this little boy that he didn't even know he was looking for, found a little boy. And I'm like, bro, this can't be how the movie ended. And it went off and it blew me. You know what I'm saying? So I be wanting some, like you say, something that's going to draw me into a movie, because that's hard to do. And it's a million movies out here nowadays. And to me, it's just something on the screen to watch, bro.
Man, I think because we'll talk about it, but I just created a movie called Bentley. And one of the things that I had to take away from, or had to get, was I wasn't gonna have this huge budget, so how can I not make it a waste of people's time? And I think that's with gems. You gotta drop little messages that people can. You got your overall plot. Like, one of my writing teachers told me, he said every story been told before. It's just gonna be told a different way. Right. So the story I told may have or may have not been told before. I think it has, but how I told it and the gems that I put as I get into from point A to point Z, the gems and the road I took you on, I feel like that's more important than the production itself. Having, you know what I'm saying, cars explode, you know what I'm saying, all these things that's distracting you of the context. And if it ain't no context to it, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that.
You might as well go ahead and roll on. What's Bentley the movie about and everything, and like talk about a few gems that you had to throw in that and keep people's attention.
For sure. So I started writing Bentley in 2017. And it's a very vulnerable piece for me, because when I started writing it, it's actually from a short story that I wrote called "Who Am I?" And I wrote that in a class called Hero's Journey. But I wrote that about my experience through therapy. I think that's something that black young men especially need to invest in, and we need to try to create outlets for it. But I didn't even know I needed therapy. I took therapy for extra credit, you know what I'm saying, for my writing, you know what I'm saying. And in that experience, I'm learning more about who I am and stuff like that. So I wrote a little short story. And then my homie Kenny Flowers, he composed it, because Bentley is a musical. He composed everything on it. He called me like, yo, we should make a musical. So I was writing something completely different. Dropped that, started writing Bentley. I'm like, I got the perfect plot, because that's when I wrote a whole 13-page little short story about it. But basically, Bentley is about the theme of it is about breaking self bondages. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of masks that we wear on a daily. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be people who other people would approve of. And my story was basically trying to inspire the people, because it's based in Chicago. There's people in Chicago to break free of who it is that person wants you to be, and be who you want to be, because that's where you're gonna find freedom. But how can you? So it was these 4 guys, and that's what it's about. Bentley and his 4 guys. He putting on this show to have that freedom, and that's what it is. But how can he put on this show if he doesn't have freedom in himself? So that's really all it was, because that's what I was going through my little journey in therapy. I was wearing this mask and I wasn't being who I was. But how can I put on this face and give you these gems, if I ain't following them myself? So that's pretty much it. You can find it on BentleyTheMovie.com, stream it. But it's definitely a nice piece with a lot of different messages, not only on who you are in yourself, but how to treat others, how to navigate those things. And because I feel like when you're going through this journey that you're gonna go on in life in general, we feel all these different emotions, and we're only told that we only can act through the one emotion, which is happiness. When you're sad, people trying to, get you to be happy. When you're angry, stop being angry. Nah, anger, happiness, anxiety, all that is emotions that humans are allowed to have, but we're uncomfortable with them because we're not taught how to act in them. As long as you got your foundation, who you are, you can be angry and I can still be Dre. I can be sad and still be Dre. I can be mad at you and still love you because of my foundations. We're not taught how to act in those certain emotions. We only taught how to act when we, you know what I'm saying, grateful for things, when we happy. That's the only time I could be me. No, you can be you why things is bad. You can be you why things is good. Nice. And I couldn't I'm giving these I couldn't find those things until I found who I truly was and took that mask off myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. I remember being in school and like in my last semester of college, that's when I felt like life for everything hit me. I didn't necessarily do therapy in school. I did counseling for everything. I didn't even know I needed it myself. Mm-hmm. But one thing that hit me when I did that, when I was younger, I used to move a lot of places. I used to move like every year. So, you know, we even reconnected in the lobby when I told you. You was either in my 4th or 5th grade class. Right. You know, I was out in both places for 1 year. So it was necessarily hard to understand myself because I didn't really know myself until that day when everything came crashing down. And you was like, you just said something about anxiety, and that's what really hit me. You know what I'm saying? So that once you get to that moment and like you run into that wall, and now I want people to go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like we only got 2 emotions. You got happiness, or when you want to use that anger, whatever you're going through, and take it out on somebody else. But sometimes you can distance yourself with anger. You can distance yourself even with happiness, you know, because sometimes you got to take it all in for yourself, you know.
For sure.
And that's real because that's something I ran into personally, and I'm glad you just spoke on it. But, like, what do you do once, like, say you want a day, you want to be good, like, you want to be happy, but something really just go left? Like, what do you do to slow yourself down on those days?
Yes, so for me at least, well, I feel like everybody has to have their roots, their foundation, what makes them. We're all made of, you know, H2O, oxygen, whatever, these chemicals, blood, bone. But what makes you who you are? What drives you? And me, in my personal experience, I don't push religion on nobody. Mm-hmm. I'm a Christian, so my foundation is love, in my opinion. So when things are bad, when things are good, when things is I'm confused, I go to my foundation, which is the Lord. How can I navigate through this sadness? How can I navigate through this happiness? Or somebody else's foundation could be giving. So when I feel like I have a lot, I can give. When I feel like I'm in need of something, I can give my time and my energy to this good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you navigate who you are, you navigate life through your core and your foundation. As long as you stay true to yourself through all these things that is wishy-washy, worldly, because the world push all these different things on you and what's supposed to be, what is good, what is bad. That's all worldly. That's cool. But something that I've learned through worldly things, they always change. What's going to stay the same? Your foundation. So I can navigate through everything with my foundation. When you found out who you are and your foundation, you should be straight. And it ain't going to be easy. Like, it ain't easy to choose something that I can't see. You know what I'm saying? That's my foundation. It ain't. But it's a choice that I've made, and that's what gives me peace. What's going to give you peace through everything? I can be angry, and I'm still at peace. I can be sad, I'm still at peace because of my foundation, who I am. I know if I do this, it's going to result in this, even though all these different things is hitting me.
Yo, it's your boy Biko. Make sure you head over to the Apple Store and Google Play Store and download the iLLANOiZE app right now. From there, you'll be able to stream iLLANOiZE Radio live every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m., as well as stream podcasts, watch interviews, check out the latest news, and so much more. So head over there to your App Store and download the iLLANOiZE app.
Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yes, sir. Checking back in with our guest, Dre Josiah. Now, before break, Jay, you want to ask him about balancing writing and directing?
Now, first, let's distinguish the difference between writing something and then directing it. Because most people just write it and then somebody else direct it. Mm-hmm. But writing and directing your own joint, is it like, do you ever feel like you taking too much control over it?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, with my processing, we'll just talk about Bentley. My process in writing, I always had someone there with me, for their minds, because I feel like if you do something one way, it's just that way. You only gonna see it that way. So I always had someone there. I'm picking their brains, like asking them if they read it, what does this make you think? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I don't never go into any project alone. And then even with directing, I feel like I am very knowledgeable on what I want, so I can communicate it. But I also feel like I won't have you on my team unless I know you know what you want. You know what I'm saying? I don't have people who second guess themselves on my team. So with my team, I feel like I'm gonna do this. I want this done, but what would you do around it? Like what is your views on it? So as a director myself, I never am a dictator. It's always a counsel.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, you know, I make the stamp of approval, but I make sure I got everybody else's brains in it. There's scenes, there's like scenes where we get on set and I'm just looking at the set. I'm like, I'm not gonna do nothing that I just planned because it's different. We gotta improvise. So I'm asking my cinematographer, I just need you to freestyle it. Like this is what you was hired for. I trust you and I trust your vision, and that's why I hired you. So do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's a director. A director don't have to have all the answers, but a director can navigate to get the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was my favorite part about directing was understanding that it wasn't all on me, and I'm just a guy that brings it out of everybody else. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it was the writing part was my most pressured part in my opinion because it was my words, it was my thoughts on a piece of paper, and then once it was script locked, can't edit it no more. I'm like, yo, so
it's time.
Don't worry about this. You know what I'm saying? See what I think.
For real.
Yeah.
When you doing writing and you got to bring that vision to life, like how do you go about getting the characters and making people embody the characters that you made? Like how do you go about that?
So what's crazy? 3 days before we started shooting, my leading man, he had some mental health issues, and he just couldn't do it. It was too much for him. And I reached out to an actor and a dancer that I know named Moniette Crump, and he was gung ho about it. And I think with this being our first feature, everyone who's on the team, this is everyone's first feature film. Whether it was a cinematographer, a gaffer, choreographer, or whatever, it was everyone's first feature film. So when I went into it, when I had to sit down with my team, I'm just like, all right, how are we gonna translate what's on this paper to it? And then I'm like, I can't make people, you know what I'm saying, be what I wrote. That's not letting them be an actor. It's not letting them have their artistic vision. But 2, it won't be organic. So I can, the best as I can write the best, you know what I'm saying, world. The best that I can, I got to write the world. Mm-hmm. Either it's going to translate or not, but what they read is what I want to come out of them. I can't make them read and they form something else in their mind, and I'm making them bring something else out of them. Because then it's like you seeing somebody on the screen acting as opposed to this being real and you're being lost in it. So my whole thing was telling them, all right, this is how I wrote it and this is how I see it. What do you feel when you read it? Let's bring that out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then as we go on, we're going to practice so you can be the Leo DiCaprio. You can be someone totally who's not you. You know what I'm saying? But until then, since it's your first feature, we want to make sure we get a message across. And if that's, even though the character's name says Bentley, but if you can't be Bentley, you can be who? You can be Moniette. Make Moniette get the message across. Mm-hmm. You can't be Lily. You can be Natalie. Her name is Natalie. Be Natalie. Make Natalie make the message come out. Because that's the only way they're going to believe it. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
So that was my biggest thing. And then eventually you're going to start working with actors who are able to put themselves in worlds where they can be someone totally. They can be a psychopath. They can, you know, and it be believable. But until then, we don't want none of that ain't organic, none of that ain't real. So that was my biggest thing. Like, all right, cool. I got people who are confident in themselves. So I'm like, be you, and we're gonna make it happen.
So
now, finishing your first movie is an accomplishment in itself. You feel me? And most people feel satisfied with that one. You know what I'm saying? So this either going to be the turning point in your life, or you can just stay stagnant and just celebrate what you've done up until this point. So how important is it for you to continue learning as you go, to further, you know what I'm saying, your career?
For sure. When I created this whole movie, during the production, I'm still at school, so I'm learning as I'm teaching. In a sense, like right now, I went back to school to get another degree. I'm getting a screenwriting degree. So and I'm writing a second feature, but I feel like I'm on stage and we packed out the theater. We had a premiere on the 23rd of July. Sold it out, everything cool. The standing ovation. I'm on stage and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I always wanted this thing. I always wanted to cry. Like I always wanted to have tears of joy because I ain't never experienced. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh cool, this gonna be the moment. I'm on stage. I'm looking at everything. I'm like, it's gonna be so much bigger than this. Yeah. And I kind of felt selfish, but I'm like, nah, this is just the starting ground. You know what I'm saying? You packed out one theater on the south side of Chicago, cool. You're gonna pack out many theaters, but the only way you're gonna be able to do that is if you do more. Do what you did here, but do more. Get a bigger team. You know what I'm saying? And write better messages. Just continue doing what you're doing. I was more inspired than celebratory in that moment. I'm like, I got more work to do, and that's the best part of my position being a filmmaker. Is like I made one. That's what's as I was literally in production. I'm thinking of this. I'm like, cool. This is gonna be cool for my next one. Watch what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So just staying motivated in yourself and what you want. I can never get too much. And this is something else I want filmmakers to understand. I feel like we just be trying to create things just to have content, but you can't create things of substance if you ain't experiencing it. So I'm never gonna rush a script. I'm never gonna rush anything unless it's something that I've been through already. And I think as long as I'm experiencing life, I'm gonna keep writing. When I get to a point where I've completely drained everything of wisdom that I have out of me, that's when I'm gonna be like, take my shit back. But there's so much in me that I got to get out because I've experienced so much. And then I'm going to continue to experience, so I feel like I'm going to keep making. But as soon as I am at a place where I feel like my voice is complete, I completed everything that I need to say, the world is out there for the world, then I just probably, you know what I'm saying, start auditioning for other people's movies and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you saying auditioning for other people's movies, talk about how you are as an actor and everything, because you say you do got theater experience and everything.
Yeah, so I've been acting since I was like 12 or 13, and I actually, if I really wanted to, I could have made me the leading role in my movie, mm-hmm. but I didn't think it was going to translate the way that it did. But I did make me a role, an important role. His name was Mikey Flowers. So it was Bentley and Mikey Flowers. Mikey Flowers is the antagonist. Mm-hmm. He probably had 10 minutes on screen, but this isn't a spoiler, but just so you guys can get deep into the film, Bentley's character was me pre-therapy, and Mikey was me post-therapy. Mm-hmm. So I knew I can play me now the best. Like, can't nobody play who I am right now. So when I go into acting, I feel like I've got better in becoming other characters. But like I said earlier, my foundation is being so comfortable with who I am. I can play someone else, and it be realistic, because I'm not scared to be someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't lose who I am.
Right.
We was just talking about that earlier with like Heath Ledger and you know what I'm saying, people like that, how they just get lost in a character because maybe they weren't secure with them. Mm-hmm. So when they can become someone else, that character takes over them because it's like, well, this is more real to me than who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so me. I feel like I can be anything.
Yeah, and you got to put in some roles. You got to put so much of that role into you, like the Joker. Like, come on, you got to give Gotham hell. You know what I'm saying? That's really a lot, bro. So, man, for real, like, how do you separate yourself when you embodying like those deep roles? Because I don't necessarily know what type of impact. You said Mikey Flowers.
Yeah.
Like, how did you come out of Mikey Flowers? I know you say you know yourself, but like, how do you like literally bring yourself up out of that?
I would say embodying those roles or embodying something that you got to pour yourself into is being an artist. You gotta make the commitment to say, like, I'm going to be vulnerable on camera. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be bare on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no mask. I can't put a mask up no more. These 4 people, these 3 people, whoever is in this room is going to see me pouring out what's actually in me, but I'm scripted. You know what I'm saying? So when you come to the confirmation or the realization that you're an artist, and artists are vulnerable, artists are storytellers, artists paint canvases, you accepted it, I feel like that becomes easier because you're like, that's just who I am. A lot of people scared to, you know what I'm saying, be vulnerable. I was scared to be vulnerable until I went to therapy. I thought I had to be tough, be happy all the time. Like, can't nobody see me hurting. Like, but when going embodying roles or going through therapy, you learn to not care. Like, this is who I am, so I can show you all of me because you don't have the power to hold it against me because I control everything that's in my body and who I am.
For sure.
Now we living in a world of instant gratification. You feel me? So how do you deal with social media and everything? Because you got the movie behind the paywall. You know, you could have put it on YouTube. You could have put it in a gang of places for free. And I feel like, I'm gonna give my opinion. I feel like you doing that because you love what you put together, and you feel like, you know what I'm saying, if somebody wanna watch it, then they should be able to pay for it. But like I say, we live in a world of instant gratification. So is it like, I can't say you waiting for your flowers, you know what I'm saying, because you've done something so amazing. Like, a lot of people don't get to that first film, and then, like you say, you got showcases and everybody coming out and watching it live, you feel me? So what was the thinking behind putting it behind a paywall, and why is it so difficult to find like clips of it on social media, I would say?
Yeah, so I would say that's a great question. I would say have value in your work. Yes, you want the world to see it, or you want a couple people to see it. Like, I don't care if, like, I made the tweet, like, I don't care if 3 people came to my premiere, 300 people came to my premiere. I've put all of me into something, and it holds value. As soon as we start depreciating our work, the world gonna depreciate it. It's a lot of things that aren't of value are easy access. And you just said instant gratification. We, in my opinion, as a world, we worship the outcome. We worship the result. We don't worship the process. It's hard to get people to buy into something they can't see, to pay for it to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard. But I don't shy away from it being hard. Like, if my movie, it's a $10 film, I'll probably get $8 from it, from the streaming website. So for me, I'm selling it for $8. But I don't care if I can make $16. What I went through, the process we went through, is worth more than $8. You get what I'm saying? So whether 800 people buy it or 8 people buy it, I'm not going to depreciate the value of our work, my mind, my team. You know what I'm saying? We're worth more than free. And as independent filmmakers, independent workers, or whatever you guys want to call it, we have to stop depreciating us for fame, for a spotlight. I can be what Drake just said. Y'all got more followers than dollars in y'all bank account. I can't relate. I don't need a light. I need substance. I need to be able to give. I can't give if I don't have. You know what I'm saying? So I think my words, my work holds value. So I'm gonna place a value sign on it. It's not free.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, because I feel like if it's a million, like you say, let's just go off for followers. why are you following me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You following me for what reason?
Question number one.
Are you following me to support me? Because
Yeah.
if you support me, then support is easy. You know what I'm saying? And you say it's $10, so you get 8. So when you think about it, that's the price of a movie ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why not pay for a movie like we was talking about Netflix and everything? We all pay for these subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? We don't even bat an eye at that. You know what I'm saying? But we see somebody out here doing something and we say, oh, $10 too much. Like, what, bro? Come on, what? Bro, I took my kids to McDonald's. I got them 2 fish fillets and some caramel sundaes, bro. That shit was like $18. You know what I'm saying? So what's $10? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people be scared to support. And if you ask me, it's literally on some hating shit. Like, come on, bro. It's $10.
For real. And a lot of times with that, bro, that be, even if they won't ever admit out their mouth, that be something unconscious. You know what I'm saying? So it'll just go out. It'll just go out like that for real. So with how do you duck like the fake support of those that you know what I'm saying? Know you doing something monumental. How do you duck that?
Like I stated earlier, it's the accepting the fact that not everybody gonna love you. Your core you don't need everybody to love you. No. It's a quote. You can be the sweetest and the most ripest peach, but everybody don't like peaches. Yeah. Like I'm not about to go buy no peach. You know what I'm saying? But to someone else, they love it. So it's a lot of people that show face. It's a lot of people that are just there because they want to see the progress. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna get there? And when he do, I was following him. I was following him before he did it, but I'm not gonna invest in him though. That's too big, and I know it. You know what I'm saying? I peep it, and I'm okay with it because I know what I'm destined for, and I know where I'm going, and I don't need y'all to do it. But it's cool, you know what I'm saying? That y'all support is great. It's awesome, but I'm gonna get there regardless. And they just spectators at a point. So once you accept the fact that not every, like, put it this way, I got maybe like almost 1,500 followers on Instagram, but you'll get like 200 likes. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of spectators. You know what I'm saying, and not so much supporters, which is fine.
Sometimes you gotta rock out with that handful that's there. You know,
exactly.
You know what bothered me about it? People think it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like all the work you put in, bro. I don't know how much you had to, how much cash you had to put up to get this done. Real, you know what I'm saying? But people look at the finished product and they think like it was free. Like you didn't have to spend no money to get this done. Like, bro, what? I'm losing sleep over this. What you talking about? So real. I think people lose sight of that, and it's like, bro, we all are creators, and the only way we can grow is by supporting the creators. You know what I'm saying? Man. It's easy for us to support somebody we never met in life. You know what I'm saying? Play their songs, post them on Instagram, but when it's somebody we know, it's always like, oh well, bro ain't do this for me on the 16th. Like, come on, bro. Like, really?
Real talk, man. That's crazy, bro. So what's next with the screenwriting? Like, is it, you got a movie plans? Like, talk about a little short term goal you got.
Yeah, so I'm actually 3/4 through away through a script called Hey Jenny. And in this script, I wanted to change the norms of ethnicities and music genres. I don't want to put a tag on somebody looking a certain way, so they listen to this music or they act a certain way because they look that way. So that's what we're attacking with this one, and hopefully we get funded for it, or we got to do it how we did Bentley. But that's my next script, and then we actually are in works of putting. Hopefully we gonna knock on wood because it's going like this right now, going upward, but. Putting Bentley on a stage because it was originally supposed to be a musical, so we're in talks with that right now. So that's the couple projects we got going. But you know what I'm saying, keep my head down, working, staying out of trouble.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Only way to be, man.
All right, now before we get out of here, tell everybody how they can stay in tune with you, how they can buy the movie, and once again support you.
For sure. Again, my name is Dre Josiah. You can find me on Instagram at DREJOSIAH, Dre Josiah. Follow our movie page at Bentley the Movie, and you can also stream the movie at BentleyTheMovie.com for $10.
Sure. All right, Jimmy, talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Shout out Dre Josiah for coming with us in the building, man. Appreciate your time, bro. Hey, best of luck with the writing, the directing, bro, screenwriting, school, and everything you got going on, bro. Best of luck to you, man. And hopefully soon we'll be out one day. Check you out, bro, on stage, films, man, everywhere, bro. So keep doing your thing for real.
Appreciate it.
For sure. Make sure y'all follow me, Groove Nuke, GROOVNUKE. Follow Ill Sound Radio, ILL Sound Radio, iLLANOiZE Radio. Download the app, everything like that. And I want to shout out my guy Jay for the shirt today. This wasn't planned. You know what I'm saying?
That did just happen.
For real. The one plan is, it's hanging up there, going across. Creators Create, man. Y'all go ahead and get a Creators Create shirt.
Man, that touched my heart when I opened the door and you had
real, bro.
I ain't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because we man, we got to keep that in, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to you. Once again, bro, shout out to you for coming through, chopping it up. I feel like you got the right mindset, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember which question I asked you. I'm going to watch the interview and I'm like, that was the question. Mm-hmm. But you answered it so perfectly, bro. I wish I could have remembered the question. But you answered it so perfectly, and your mindset is exactly where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like nothing is just going to randomly pop up and just steer you off of your path. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in tune with yourself. So all you got to do is keep doing you, bro. And everything, like you say, everything coming for you going to come for you, bro.
Yes, sir.
So salute to you.
Hey, appreciate y'all. It's amazing what y'all got going on here. Keep it up, man. Keep y'all head down and keep working, for sure.
The only way, man.
Appreciate it.